What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel where transparency meets trading. If you're new here, my name is Tiana, and I am a Forex/futures trader sharing my true and transparent journey along the way. But without further ado, we're going to get straight into the video. I don't want it to be too long this week. We are going to recap the trade that I took last week, and we're going to go over my reasons for taking the trade, the confluences, and all of the above. So let's get into it. Again, I say this almost every video, but if you're new here, these trend lines on my screen are a representation of structure. I trade based off structure. I learned how to trade from my mentor, Jessica Lane. I like to color code everything, but my reason for doing this is so that you guys can be able to pay attention and follow along and understand exactly what it is that I'm looking at and exactly what it is that I'm doing. So to start out, I start out on the daily time frame, and then I go down to the 4 hour, the 1 hour, the 30 minute, and the 15 minute. I know a lot of people are asking, not a lot, but someone asked in the comments, do I always start on this time frame? And yes, I do. I feel like it is very important that you understand the overall structure before you look at your minor structure. Because overall structure trumps minor structure as far as certain long-term plays go out. But anyway, let's get into it. So as you can see right here, this purple represents 4 hour structure. We were on a downtrend for the last 2 months, but as you can see, we broke this previous lower high right here. We had a break of 4 hour structure. So now we are in an uptrend. So what I'm going to do is, as I go along, I like to label the trend of each time frame again, so you guys can follow along. So you can see that the 4 hour is on an uptrend. Let's go down. Ooh, I moved something over. Give me a second. All right. If we go down here, you can see my 1 hour is color coded in blue. So if zones are blue, that represents a 1 hour zone. These thick trend lines represents the 1 hour structure that I see. And as you can see here, I have 1 hour still going in an uptrend. So we're going to label that in the box as an uptrend. Right here, you can see that break of that 4 hour trend line that I was talking about and the break of this lower high, in which 4 hour structure is going up. So let's go down into the 30 minute. So I'm going to label this previous 30 minute structure so you guys can see where it was and my reasoning for why I think that 30 minute structure had reverse. So as you can see on this previous 30 minute structure, I also used fibs to indicate where the market is reversing and where it's going. So right here, you can see I have price pushed all the way down, pulled back to the 38.2 and pushed all the way down past the negative 61.80. At my negative 61.80, I'm expecting price to reverse. Another indication that I had that this 30 minute structure was about to reverse is right here. You can see divergence. Divergence is where you have the price trending in one direction on the chart, and it is trending in the opposite direction on your RSI. So you can see down here that as price is going in a downtrend, the RSI is also going in an upward trend. Another indication that price is about to reverse on this 30-minute trend is, and I don't truly recommend using this as a confluence. I just kind of pay attention to it. It's something that I noticed on the RSI. It's a setting that you have. Right here at the bottom, you can kind of see how price is a little bit oversold, and that is indicated by, you see, let me delete this arrow, or move it. There is a little red inside of this area down here inside of this little chart, the red, that kind of indicates that price is oversold and also indicates a reversal. Now, I do not use this as a confluence, but I pay attention to it. It's something that I pay attention to. So right there, those are two, technically three, but two very strong indications that price is still going in an uptrend. Also, another thing that indicates that price is still going in an uptrend, on that 1 hour and 30 minute is that price did not break this previous 1 hour high or low. As you can see right here, price has not broken this level. So for me, I'm not going to assume that price is going in the opposite direction until I see a break of structure. And for me, A complete break of structure is it's the close of a candle, not a wick. So for example, on the 1 hour, if I was trying to look for a break of structure on the 1 hour, I will look at that on the 1 hour time frame, go to where that recent higher low is, and I will look for a candle to close below this point. Not a wick, but a candle. If a candle would have closed below this point, then for me, that would indicate a break of 1 hour structure. So I hope that makes sense. That was another question that I had got in the comments that I wanted to address. It just ran across my mind. But yeah, so let's go back to this 30-minute time frame. So as you can see, like I said before, I believe that 30-minute is now in an uptrend. So as I discussed in previous videos, I only trade in the direction of 30-minute structure unless I have a strong indication that 30 minutes is going to do something otherwise, or just something else in a 15-minute structure. But majority, 95% of the time, I only take trades in the direction of 30-minute structure. So because all three of these time frames are on an uptrend, that is an indication for me that we are looking for a buy. So this is my first confluence. All of the structures on each time frame are in an uptrend. Let's go over my second confluence. So right here, you have 15-minute structure inside of 30-minute structure. I'm going to label it for you. I typically like to label 15-minute structure pink. So as you can see, 15-minute structure is going in a downtrend. My second confluence for this trade is, as you can see, I had a break of this 15-minute structure right here. Now, again, if you go to this recent lower high, you see how I'm going to kind of highlight it. We had a candle, a complete candle break above this level, not a wick, but a complete candle. For me, this indicates a breaker structure. So that's how I determine when structure is broken on a specific time frame. That's another good example. But this is confluence number 2. I have a break of that 15-minute structure. I'm already expecting price to go in an uptrend on that 30-minute time frame. Now, my third and last confluence is you have a break, which is red, and a retest of this trend line. This was my third confluence, which was a very strong confluence. So for me, I like to see at least 3 or more confluences. If it's 2, there has to be some kind of overall structure in place that I'm very, very sure about. But other than that, I like to see 3 or more confluences, very strong confluences, with one of them has to be structure at all times. So that was my reasoning for taking this trade. As you can see, news pushed it upward. But I'm going to be completely transparent. I did not win this trade. And let me tell you exactly why. It was a great trade, but for me, and when I know news is coming out, I like to move my stop loss a little bit tight right before news comes out, because I know that news can ultimately push the market in whatever direction it wants to. Now, ultimately, news does push price in the direction that it's going, but then again, you cannot predict the markets. You can only react to what the markets do. So for me, right before news comes out, I like to move my stop loss a little tight. But normally, in most situations, this works out in my favor and price does not come back and wick out. But in this case, as you can see, I entered on this candle right here. Price came down a little bit, so price was right here, and I moved my stop loss literally to about the same place where it wicked out at. I moved my stop loss up to right here, right before news came out. And as you can see, the candle pushed down first, then pushed up. I'm not gonna lie, this trade pissed me off to the T. Pissed me off to the max. Like, when I tell you I wanted to one revenge trade, I wanted to, in my head, I was thinking about being done with trading altogether. That's how pissed off I was with this trade. But I am learning that this is a learning lesson. This is a learning opportunity to me, because before I started trading futures, when I would have price retesting the trend line and I knew that news was about to come out, as price was retesting that trend line, instead of placing a market order, I used to place a stop order, which is basically where you place a order above or below price of where you think that direction is going to go, and you won't be entered into the trade until price reaches that point. So for example, if I would have placed a buy order, it would have been up here in this direction and price would not have entered into the trade, for example. And I'm just explaining this for people that don't know. There's different ways that you can enter the market, but if I would have entered it as a stop instead of a market order, you can see price went down, pushed up. I wouldn't have been entered into this point, and price would have pushed up and I won the trade. This is something that I used to do with my personal accounts. I still do it, but since I started trading futures, I wasn't exactly sure how to place a buy order using Tradeovate, and this is my second month using TradingView to place my trades, and this is no excuse, but I'm just explaining things that I used to do. So I'm going to start back incorporating this. I played around with it a little bit on Friday, trying to figure out exactly how I do place a stop using futures instead of just entering into the market. So I think I got it figured out. But for now on, those are going to be things that I do to mitigate this problem. Again, I'm not going to change my trading plan. I'm not going to stop moving my stop loss into profit before news or stop tightening my stop loss before news. It's something that works for me. I'm not going to let one trade deter that. I feel like if you're going to change something in your trading plan, it needs to be something that you have back tested and that you have data on. Don't let one trade or one losing trade make you change your plan altogether. I feel like a lot of people mess up in that manner. They have one losing trade and now they're constantly switching things in their trading plan, and it's like you won't ever know if what you have is profitable if you continue to change it. You won't ever know if the habits that you are having or the things that you are doing are not causing you to be profitable if you don't continue to instill them. Now, if you have back-to-back trades that are constantly losing or you're constantly seeing the same issue, okay, that means it's time to back test. That means it's time to go to the drawing board and maybe reevaluate that trading plan, maybe reevaluate things that you want to incorporate. For me, I learned that most of the trades that I lose trading opposite of 30-minute structure was not for me. For example, let's just say I wanted to trade some kind of trade right here. Let me do a short position. This could be a trade in this direction. Now, although it goes with 15-minute structure, which 15-minute structure is in a downtrend, it goes against the overall trend of 30-minute structure. And for me personally, I found that most of my trades on the 15-minute time frame that went against 30-minute structure were losers. I started implementing the rule that I only trade in the direction of 30-minute structure, which is the reason why I started to see more profits or see better results. So that's an example of something that I learned over time. But again, my point is don't change your game plan just because of one thing. Make sure it's something that you back test and you actually have data on and you check behind to see what works for you. But again, that is going to be all for this video on that trade. Since I got stopped out, I lost about $400 on the account. That's a little bit less than 0.5%. It is what it is. Like I said, I'm going to show my true and transparent trading journey. I'm not going to lie about things that I do and that I don't do. I'm going to tell you guys the truth, and truth is great trade. Um, it just wasn't one that I won or one that I executed properly. So yeah, but that's going to be it for this video. Again, I wanted to keep it short, simple, and to the point. Show you guys the trade that I took last week, and I took that trade. This was on a Friday, and just give you guys the reasoning behind it. If you have any questions about anything that I said, if I am talking too fast or there's something else that you guys want me to go over or explain, or maybe just talk about my journey a little bit, please let me know down in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and let me know what else you guys want to see, or let me know some things that you guys are struggling with on your own trading journey. Thank you again for watching, and that is it for this week. I will be back next week with this week's trades. Yeah.